Good evening, everybody. This is Coach Santos, and we are back for some more grammar work in our middle school English class. And so today I'm going to show you guys what we've been working on in case you missed the class. Let's go ahead here and we'll take a look at our work for the day, for the week, excuse me, in the past week. And let me pull that up for you right now. I hope everybody's had a wonderful weekend. I know I have. Penelope has just started to talk and say a few words. Mama, she got dada. We're getting with sounds that the cow makes, moo, and we're getting kitty cats, meow, 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 and ducks, quack, quack, quack. And so it's been fun. Fun weekend. All right, so this was our warm up. So this is again like our grammar work that we do in class. We're just looking for infinitives and we're putting them in parentheses if we see it. And everybody's been doing really well as they're turning it in. I'm checking it over. So again, our warm-ups will cover this stuff. So let's go on to what we were doing in class on Thursday. We gave out a new grammar packet, which is what you guys have at the end of the video. You can check the information. All right, so yes, we've been getting to journal writing and journal prompts. It helps our vocabulary and our writing skills when we are journaling. So yes, journals. That's just a reminder. We're looking for 4 entries minimum on a week. We're looking for a full page. It's okay if you have 2 or 3 spaces left at the bottom. It needs to be handwritten. And you don't have to use the writing prompts. I'm reminding students the writing prompts are just there in case you're feeling stuck. You can be creative and just write. You can begin a story if you want in your journal and continue to keep on with your story. That's pretty cool. I usually do see sometimes people, students, their journals turn into story scripts and movie scripts that they try to do and play in theater. So that's pretty fun. Okay. So moving on to our tricky vocabulary words was our mini lesson, and what we end up doing here is that we're looking in our reading, our first book, our novel for new vocabulary words that come to us, and we may know what they say, and we may not know the full definition of it. So just by looking at the students in class and asking for their feedback, some of the vocabulary words they knew very well, and other ones that we put more pieces together when we were giving examples of what we thought that this particular word meant. So in your journals on page number 28, we're looking for a new vocabulary list. And as I mentioned to students, when we come across vocabulary in our reading books, and if we see too many words on each page that we don't know, then this book may be above our reading level, and we may need to find a different book, a different novel that will help us out a little bit more, and so that we don't have to continue to keep on trying to figure out what they are. Also, if we don't see hardly any new vocabulary words, this book may be a little too easy. So with our first novel, I'm also gauging to see how well students are doing with the vocabulary. And if they come across it, they take a sticky note. Sticky notes are my friends. They write the new vocabulary word. They're putting it into their notebook, and they're going to find 10, I hope, and they're reading, and they're going to bring it back to me in class. And so we're going to be playing a game about this when we get back to class. Okay, so we're continuing to talk about our book Hideout. I gave chapters 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 for students for the week to read through. And so all they had to do is just read chapter 5 and chapter 6 in the book. And I wanted to go over some new weekly chapter goals. It is typical for middle school students to be reading 100 pages a week. We see this in public school, that we're just trying to get students to read and read and read and build that vocabulary. So that's why we're doing what we're doing in class. The ultimate goal is that we're trying to read 100 pages in 1 week. It does sound like a lot, but it's not too bad when we start breaking things down into separate days. So if you continue to keep on reading 2 chapters a day, you'll get there. You'll get to 100 pages in a week. Also, I'm going to be trying to provide for y'all answer some chapter questions. Just to see if you are still focusing onto it. We're using our sticky note summaries that we talked about in class. We take a sticky note and we read a page, and what we're trying to do is to use our head to try to figure out what's going on that page. And we draw little cartoons, so we can stick figures is fine to illustrate what we see in our head that's going on in the chapter or in that book. So they draw a picture and then they give me a little caption at the bottom of what is going on. This little caption and everything is just like a cartoon, what we see in the comics. So that helps. I also see students that are trying to do the other strategy is getting me a 2-sentence summary about what's going there on the page. And they don't have to draw. That's perfectly fine. Again, they're just trying to sum it up. That way, when we're flipping through the pages, we can quickly review what we have just read. And believe it or not, I've used the same thing in college because that text is really, 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 really long, and it's helped me out several times. So I think it's a good strategy for everybody to continue to keep on using. All right, and then I handed out chapter 5 and chapter 6 questions. And so in the directions, we're just doing chapter 5, chapter 6. And if they continue to keep on reading further on, that's perfectly fine. I'm not stopping anybody from getting ahead. So the chapter questions for 7, 8, and 9 are going to be out this upcoming week. And so there's not too many questions here. I want to add more questions on our chapter readings that we do in class. And so that will be coming out very, very soon, and the book is getting good. So then we quickly discussed about what was happening in chapter 5 and chapter 6. It's an exciting story, and one of my favorite books that I like to read. All right, so we're here for the grammar now. Let's go ahead and end this show and pull up our grammar for the week. Okay, I believe that everybody is doing just fine on grammar. We will have this on our exam that's coming up in a few weeks. Please look at your September calendars. Here is our preposition workbook, page 22. So let's take a look at this, and I'll give you a moment to check your answers. Okay, thanks for pressing the pause button, and we're going to go to page number 2 now. Here's page number 2 in our packet. Pretty much the same stuff we've been doing. So again, I don't see too many problems at all now that we got the hang of it now. Again, we're already reviewing a few of these in class too. Okay, here's our 3rd page. All right, let's move on to the 4th page. Sorry, my scanner is tilted when I was scanning these today. All right, page number 5. Let's go. Hey, look, there's me on number 7, but that's not how you spell my name. All right, and our last page. All right, very good. Another exciting week coming up. Thank you, everybody, for getting those grammar work turned in. I do have a sweet treat for those people that have been keeping up with our grammar. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Y'all have an amazing week. And I'm done.